10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
Oh my goodness!
1, go.
Focus, Rashford! 1-1! You loser! Manchester United are in trouble. What is wrong with this guy? Oh man!
The kit is causing eye damage and it's confusing the other players.
Right now, we're getting peppered. Oh my goodness! It's for free!
It dove over the ball. It pushed the ball in. It did everything but keep the ball on. This brother is the biggest waste of talent I've ever come across in football.
Going to like brush though.
Boy. People. Lord. It's another week. United Tropics are back.
And another great result.
First and foremost, right, because we've got a special guest today. The man himself. If you've watched the previous United Tropics streams over the last couple of weeks, he's been in the comments. We've heard, we've spoken about him. It's none other than Tariq Talks.
Big up everyone. Appreciate the invite. Realest CM, my brothers. Even though we're not brothers in terms of the teams that we support, we're still brothers outside of that. We're football.
No, we don't support dead teams though. We don't support dead teams.
So I'm here to try and bring some perspective, take the emotional side out of it as much as I can. Because, United have hurt me a lot over the recent years, over my life. I got a lot of trauma caused by this football club. So I want to try and be as impartial as possible. Have a little bit, take a little bit of joy in this as well. But nah, we're trying to put on a level head. So I appreciate you, man, for inviting me on.
Come on, man.
All right, my guy.
And before you do anything, ladies and gents, make sure you go and subscribe to Tariq Talks. He's got content coming soon.
Yeah, he's starting back next week, people. He's starting back next week.
Hey, next week, I say, he said after the next international break, by the look, that's the latest. That's the latest after the next international break. Stay tuned.
So basically, he means next week, people. Don't worry about it. He's starting.
And also, I apologize for the lateness myself, Tariq, and the culprit, Realest United.
No, wait, hold on. Are we just going to blame me for this?
Should we call him Realest Uncle? That's what we should do from now on.
Well, that's nasty work, I can't lie. That's nasty still.
The issue was, guys, we do apologize. He couldn't turn on his computer. He couldn't find the on button in it for the computer. So, yeah, it just took him a while.
Just to clarify, my computer is all his own, so don't need to turn it off. Just saying.
Because he can't turn it off. That's why, guys. Come on.
Wow.
It's a techie one, Big up Realest. How you doing this week, bro? How you doing?
Bro, I don't complain, bro. I'm always good, bro. No matter what the situation is, man's just good, bro. Grateful for life, bro. I'm cool.
Yeah, that's good to hear.
Nothing stresses me.
That's good to hear, man. Shout out to everybody in the comments. We got Moss Paxton, Brushy, Nick's in the mix.
Big up the people in the comments
inside
still.
Pro Zone Sports as well. Large ups to everybody supporting once again. But we gotta get into pressing matters, right? And I've got a little monologue to enter this conversation. Now, Manchester United were defeated 2-0 in the Manchester derby against Pep Guardiola's Man City side. Far from their best, but goals ahead of Ruben Amorim's side on the day. Phil Foden registered his first league goal of the season just before the 20th minute mark, as Erling Haaland starred with 2 goals in the second half, both of which consisted of questionable defending and panic by way of his opposing defenders, taking nothing away from the respected finishes. United's best opportunity came by way of Brian Mbeumo's left-footed volley, which forced debutant Gianluigi Donnarumma into an excellent save, showcasing his razor-sharp reflexes as a sign of good things to come for the 10-time champions of England. Now, we're going to throw it out to everybody in the comments. We're going to throw it out to T. We're going to throw it out to Realest. What were your opinions on the game? What were your thoughts?
Should we go from the start first off or overall? What we're saying? Because I actually thought initially, to begin with, in the opening minute, well, he had a nice, decent bit of possession, and he was getting into dangerous areas, not really getting any shots off to begin with. And I thought about opening 15, 20 minutes, Man United started to have a foothold in the game. And when that first goal did come, it was kind of against the run of play. Doku was looking sharp. But when we dive into that first goal and how it was conceded, the poor defending from Luke Shaw, this is where it kind of creeps in. And this is kind of like the soft backbone that we see from United in nowadays. In that United don't feel hard to beat anymore in certain games, and as soon as you break them, they fold. That's the issue that you've seen. So we've spoken about the other games as well. For Fulham, for example, you started off really well. You looked sharp in that one, and then the second half kicked in. When it started to go, the momentum shifted. United went back in, and that seems to be an issue under Amorim. We'll talk about the issues as well. Of course, you guys can delve into that. Or if you feel like you've spoken about it, repeated too much in certain areas of the pitch. But yeah, it is the first half. Again, you started decently, and there is building blocks, but is it enough though, man? That's the real question I want to ask you, and everyone in the chat watching. Is this slight bit of progress in terms of how you play in certain games, but the results still not coming? Is that enough?
Just as he said, it's too easy to play through. Tariq, it's a derby game. There was no cards, bro.
Yeah, that's seen that as a damning indictment,
bro.
And
no cards.
I will say also because this, mixes in perfectly with what T said. Bruno in the post-match press conference said, he said something along the lines of alluding to the fact that the team is not brave enough to basically execute the tactical requirements. We need people to be very aggressive in the moments of pressure. If you're not brave enough to do that, it's very difficult, especially touching on the vulnerability of the midfield too, if there isn't any support coming, most likely from those wide fullbacks. Go ahead, read this.
I'm still, bro, no cards, bro. No one's trying to put in a crunching tackle. No one's trying to say, yo, the Roy Keane special, bro. Just tackle someone just to feel good, bro. Do something, bro. Nothing going, And to what Nick's is saying with Bruno, brother. You see Bruno in the midfield in that double pivot there, it's like Bonnie Blue's having an event, bro. And she said everyone's free to have a chance, bro. Because that brother is tracking no one, bro. Everyone is running past. You see the first goal? He's just standing there, bro. And Phil Foden is going in and he's just standing there looking at him. And then he has the audacity to blame his teammates. Bro, you have to do something, bro. I know you're a creator, but brother, you have to embrace your new role and do something. My man's doing nothing, bro. He's doing nothing.
They say, oh, little darling.
I can tell you, bro. My man's just there, bro. He's just giving it up, bro. He's like, anyone could have a chance, bro. Raffle settings. Anyone could have a chance. And Luke, you see him, bro.
That's poor defending, really.
Yeah.
Stand square. You're asking to either get nutmegged or played it around the side, especially with someone.
You know what that remind me of? You remember what Madueke was doing to Forest?
Yeah.
That's all I saw there. That's all I saw. I'm like, for flip's sake, Luke Shaw, do something, bro. I'm like, yep, you just spun him, bro. Just spun him.
Oh my.
With the easiest,
That little
shimmy.
That was disgusting.
I'll be real though, like Doku got a lot of praise for that, but me looking at that from a defensive point of view,
it's just poor. It's just poor, bro.
Yeah, he's not. I don't think he had to do much to get past Shaw there, because when you're standing like that with your shoulders, with your shoulders facing Doku, all it takes is the slightest bit of skill to knock it past him, and you can't. And you're off balance. That's it.
Yeah.
You know the basics, what they teach you. Stand side on, one foot in front of the other, not because of the balance. That's how you're able to shift your body and turn. And you think for someone who's earning how much money he is with the amount of experience that he's got is able to do that in that situation. And yeah, it was just very poor. And then, as you said, really, it's another midfield runner. But what was you going to say, bro?
You know what's mad as well, though, Tariq? Bro, he's a professional, a seasoned defender, bro. You know you lost some of your pace. Why are you just standing flat-footed and not showing him on the inside. You know Doku's weak foot is left foot, bro. Just show him there, bro. Just show him there, because he's not shooting. That brother is not shooting, bro. So show him that side. He just stood there flat-footed. It's easy to beat you, bro. He knew he wasn't catching him. We blocked the first pass, and then look what happened, bro. The second one pissed me off the most, bro. There's no one, bro. We have 3 centre-backs, and as Roland said it there, if you watch the goal over, all 3 of them are basically standing on the goal line, bro.
Yeah.
What
aggressive
are we doing?
them, man. Yeah.
No one's pushing up, bro. No one's pushing up to at least try to get the ball, intercept it, or block it, or do anything. Everyone's just chilling, bro. This team is just too soft to play against, bro. They're too soft. They're just too soft, bro. They need some type of crackhead in the back there. Not like Rojo or Baye, not that type here. Like some type of, Martinez is just aggressive, bro. He was just running into some reason. We need something there, because them man are just too passive, bro. They're just passive. They're there.
Do you know what it reminds me of? Do you know? Remember when Marco Silva? I think it was Marco Silva. It was definitely someone from the Fulham side that said that we kind of know that Man United centre backs don't want to step out and they don't want to be aggressive, and we know that kind of leaves space open in the midfield. I think in that moment you need someone to go, all right, let me not bother marking space. Let me look for where the potential goal scorers may be, because it's not space that scores goals; it's players. So. Yeah. That's where the midfield runner, you see a man run off the back of Bruno, you should be ready and over there to be aggressive, to at least contest the aerial duel. Because
3 centre-backs as well, 3 centre-backs, bro.
Exactly. Especially for Doku to have 2 attempts to get the cross in. You should be on your mark, ready from the first one, and then you should be able to close down the second one and block and at least contest Foden. And if one of your centre backs is contesting Foden, it's not going to be an easy header. So it's poor. And then you see from the second goal early in the second half, it's same again. It's too easy. Ugarte getting beaten in an area where he should never be. You don't need to be that aggressive in that situation. You to be standing square on again, little nutmeg, folded a little around the corner, and then it was just everyone was half a step too slow. And if you do that in the Premier League, forget Man City. That anyone in the Premier League can score goals like that. So it's just too soft again. And yeah, and this is a theme now that we're seeing with Man United. This is where the split is between the fan base, because you'll see people going, "Oh, I see certain improvements. Like your attack looked sharper yesterday. I know you didn't score a goal, but it's kind of similar to how it was against Arsenal. Like there was, when you get into the final third, you look more threatening and dangerous. End products was lacking a little bit, but more than what you've done last season. That's a step from there. But again, is that enough when all the money's been put over into that part of the pitch from the summer, and you've left the gaping holes in midfield, and then you're questioning, is the system's not fit for anyone in that midfield for me. For any player that you've got, the system's not fit for anyone. And then this is another question. This is always a topic of debate within Man United fans. Has Amorim got to change his system, which he spoke about after the game, didn't he, see?
Yeah.
You
know what? We'll get into that in a second. Let's read some of the comments. So, Roland, as you guys mentioned already, said the back three needs to push forward when we don't have the ball instead of leaving the midfield on an island. 100%. Paxton saying Bruno is a number 10 and that's it. Can't do anything else. Obviously, that isn't gonna happen on a consistent basis here. There will be games where he plays higher up the field, but most likely under Amorim, as he has been deployed, he will be one of those midfield 2 members. And then bringing Maguire on. What was Ruben thinking? He has been a consistent option late in games. Throw him up top and see what happens.
I hear that. But bro, before we even reach the Maguire part here, I don't think there's 2 players on earth right now the way we play. Or no, let me just say 2. I don't think there's any player right now playing that we could put next to Bruno in the double pivot and it's going to look normal, bro. Nah. There's none, bro. Because he's a guy that defensively, he just don't have a clue, bro. He don't have a clue. He don't know when to go with his man. He don't know when to track runners. He don't know when to get into space to cut passes off. He just don't know, bro. He don't know. So if you get someone next to him, that person, they need to have the stamina of Kante and they be able to run around, the aggressiveness as Roy Keane, and you have to read the game defensively like Makaleli, bro. I don't know where you're going to find this.
Yeah,
It's a madness, bro.
you're asking for someone with a cape in midfield, and that's where
Bro, it's
you got to ask
mad.
the question about Amorim. Like Bruno Fernandes has been an attacking midfielder for all of his career almost, and we've seen the best of him, especially even towards the end of the game. And when you created them chances, that's when Bruno was moved into that left 10, and that's where you look at your best and more threatening again. And when it was a point where Mbeumo was it, then Mbeumo shot where Donnarumma made that good save, and then
good save, bro. What a save!
Exactly. When Man United actually started to gain some serious territory from the beginning of the first half, that's when Bruno was moved in that 10 and Mainu was on the pitch, and you've got someone there who is more of a natural box-to-box midfielder. Yeah, there's things in his game that Amorim isn't, keen on, because he wants someone in that midfield to be, as you said, realist. You want someone to be that box-to-box who's got a mad set of lungs on him, physicality, a Declan Rice or Caicedo of today.
I think you and I spoke. Sorry, dude. I think you and I spoke about this with Kobe. He's a good player, but we don't think he has that engine to be able to go back and forth consistently and read the game. I don't think he could do it. I think he could play in the midfield 3, but in the 2, I don't think he could do it.
Exactly. You're limiting and you're asking him to do things that is well out of his comfort zone. Yeah, he'll develop, but it's not going to be the benefit of Manchester United today. And Man United need to win games now, not in 2 years' time. So yeah, this is the question, and I know you'll get to it, so I don't want to say it again about that system. But yeah, it's just he's not getting the best out of these players at the moment. He's definitely not. And the area of weakness, you expect a good manager to be able to cover for it a little bit more. Every top manager has been able to do it. Look at Liverpool. I don't think Liverpool particularly have a very strong midfield, but they're able to win the league. They don't have the strongest in the league for me when everyone's fit. I'd argue Chelsea's midfield's better than theirs.
I don't think Liverpool have that strong midfield. Their attack is good. Their attack's there. But
centre backs are decent. And then with Chelsea, they've been able to get into the Champions League with centre backs that I don't rate at all.
Yeah, I think their centre back options are whack, bro.
Exactly, but people are putting them in a title race even with those centre backs options. So or at least outsiders, dark horses for title race. That's what Chelsea fans are expecting anyway. And at least Champions League, and I don't even think those centre backs pairings are even top 10. To be honest, I think Brentford had better centre backs than what Chelsea had, but it doesn't stop them from being able to dominate these games and get wins in a lot of them. So there's nothing that should be stopping Man United right now when you've got the attackers that you do. I don't think your defenders are that weak, to be honest. I think you're decent. I think De Ligt's been good for you guys as well. But
if we're being honest, I think everyone could agree our weak point is that the middle of the pitch, bro. That's it there, bro. The middle there. We can't control the game. We can't break nothing up. It's just wide open, bro. It's like, bro, some prostitute thing, bro. Just pull up, bro, and just do what you want, bro. It's nasty work going on there. It's nasty work, bro.
We'll see. Hey, big up to Solo. It's been a minute. Hope you're doing well. Your day's been blessed. Appreciate you coming by each and every time. Yeah, you know what? I forwarded it over because the conversation went over to Ruben Amorim, right? And there's gonna be a question because every week after a game, he says two things that always stay in my mind, right? When asked about whether he's gonna change his philosophy, I'm not going to change my philosophy. I will play my way until I want to change. And then he always tends to kind of poke the Ineos bear or throw comments towards Ineos in the sense where it's like, if they want change, it's not going to be with me. And another thing is him saying that I am suffering more than the fans. I know that will probably enrage a lot of fans because at the end of the day, especially for the match going ones, I feel like they disagree in a big way. But going back to Ruben Amorim, is he shooting himself in the foot continuously by showcasing his lack of interest in adapting? Because when we think about the Premier League and how the game is really centered around dynamism, So many different teams bring different elements to the game, whether it's possession based, physicality, speed. You need to have an understanding and a team that covers a lot of those bases. And with Manchester United, especially under this system, there's a huge vulnerability that TE and Realist have touched on in terms of our spine and being able to play through us with ease. When it comes to us, our ability, even though we've attacked relatively well to start this season, we're still not taking our chances. So what is Ruben Amorim going to need to do in order to flip the script? Or will he just end up, as Paxton said in the comments, will he continue being stubborn? And will that end up being the curtain call on Ruben Amorim's administration?
Yeah. There's a certain saying, isn't there? Sorry, Realist. There's a certain saying, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. That the system got Amorim his job, you know, the success that he had at Sporting, and he's sticking to it. But he relying on it completely to think that this got me the job, so I'm gonna have to stick with it. Is gonna be his downfall. Because in the Premier League, you have to be willing to adapt. The best have done it. The best have shown the adaptation. Pep Guardiola has adapted year on year. But this Man City performance that we saw, this isn't the same Man City type of performance we saw last season or the season before when they won the league. Far more direct, far more counter-attacking, far more aggressive,
100%.
even in the pressing. And you can see that with the change of backroom staff that he's done. He brought in Pep Linders, he brought in Kolo Toure, and you can see the difference in Man City. And yes, they're going through a transition. And to be honest, this isn't talking about Man City, but defensively they look a bit weak as well. And I think they look like they are giving up opportunities to various sides, not just you guys last night. But you've got to be willing to do that to get results in this league. Even talking about my own team, Arsenal in the 22-23 season played different football to what we're doing now. In Arsenal playing different football this season to what we did last season. Far more direct with our wingers, far more direct to playing balls in behind into Gyökeres, because we've got different tools, and this is what Amorim should be willing to do. You don't have the midfielders, or I don't think Mazraoui was okay, but I don't think he has the right wing back in terms like perfect linking with that Dorgu. Dorgu. Dorgu on the left is a different style and different profile to what Mazraoui is, and you don't mirror that. So where's the adaptation? Because what we've seen with Mazraoui, he's very good defensively. He's very solid there, and he's not as good in the final third, but he can do some work. He's better as a supporting option. He's like
a versatile player that can help out everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. And instead of looking at what you want to do, you can get that done in the future. You've shown it. I think it's clear to see the board are clear with what you want, and they're willing to help you. And you can't get all your transfers done in one summer, but you've got to be able to get the best out of the current group now. That's how you instill belief. That's how you instill belief as a manager, isn't it? If you want, like, even if you play in a game, like I think a football manager, like the simple cohesion, the morale, how are these players going to have confidence to perform and execute what you want them to do when this is Man United's worst start ever in the Premier League, and you feel like you're hearing that, and then the criticism being spoke about, and the way that not being able to have that control and not being able to get the wins under your belt, that's what breeds momentum. That's when you can start that's when you can start implementing things and things on the training ground. And this is the thing with Amorim, man. I think because he's a young manager, and he's been quite naive in his thought process, thinking that, I can do this. I can do this. Don't worry. Yeah, I'm suffering. I need the players. The players are learning. And instead of, no, you know what? Let me get the best out of this group. Let's focus on that first. Let's focus on these midfielders. They need an extra body in there. The defenders are actually okay. Defending in a two, they look more weak when they're having to run the opposite way with the back to goal. When they're running back to their goal, that's when they look at their weakest. And so that's the main thing for me. He just needs to adapt, especially in that middle.
Yeah, before we go to Realist, I love what you said in terms of the manager team, because the best managers in world football, we can cycle back to Pep Guardiola, but some of the best are able to adapt to from not just season to season, but even sometimes making tweaks throughout a campaign.
Situations as well.
Yeah, we see that every now and then when the situation changes, when you get injuries, when new players come into the fray. How are you able to get the best out of those players and get the best out of the group as a whole? So I love that point you bring up. And right now, Ruben Amorim, he comes into a situation at Manchester United where the aim is getting results. And every week he speaks about we need to get wins. Wins are the most important thing. But I'm not exactly seeing that point emphasized every single time Manchester United step out on the football pitch.
No, exactly, bro.
I think he's just stubborn and arrogant, bro. He's just stuck in his ways, bro, because my man just determines like, yo, you don't tell me how to play, I'll get this to work. All right, at Sporting, right? His first season at Sporting, he didn't have the best team in the league, but bro, as it went on, he basically had the best team in the league. So doing what you wanted to do, you could have got away with things, but everyone knows the Premier League is a physical league, bro. If you have two people in midfield, you're going to get swarmed, bro. You're going to get... I was telling Brush, right? I'm like, Brush, you know what? If my man don't want to change from his three at the back thing, because everyone hates the three at the back, they think it's defensive. I don't think it's necessarily defensive. You could change on the three at the back and play three in midfield instead. Am I crazy to think that? Just play three in midfield, bro. So that way you have one person to... Yeah, so you have one person that could actually sit there and the next two could help contribute going back and forth, bro. My man's just insisting on these 210 thing, bro. That shit is whack, bro. It's not working, bro. It's not going to work, bro, because the midfield is too exposed. When one person leaves the midfield to go up to help, my man's there by himself, bro. One person is there by himself, unless one of the centre-backs drop into midfield. And you can't consistently do that. Depends on the team you play. They're going to adapt it, bro. They're going to put someone on him.
Realist, you're absolutely spot on, bro. And that's a good point, because you could still play Ahmad at wing back and you could still have Bruno in the middle, but then you just take, especially now that Cunha's out with an injury, just take one of those 10s and put a Casemiro or Mainu alongside of a Garte or Casemiro, and then you got Bruno still in there, and you get more out of Bruno because you can put him closer to the forwards. You can have Šeško and Mbeumo as like a front two, which Mbeumo's very familiar with because that's what he looked very good in at Brentford, working with Vissa. And it's also something that Šeško's familiar with because he worked in a front two at Leipzig with a Penda. So you've got the familiarity there already. You're still prioritising working with your wing-backs, and you're actually able to overload the midfield, because that's one tactical tweak that I've seen now from Fulham and Man City, putting someone in between the lines and basically teasing the centre-back and say, you've got to step out to me. Are you brave enough to do it? And Man United centre-backs aren't.
Yep, you're correct. How watch Man City did that to us yesterday, you know. Bro, Pep don't play counter-attacking football, bro. And that's what my man did, bro. My man just chilled. He said, you could have the ball, bro. Keep the ball. Let me see what you're going to do with it. What you're going to do with it? And we couldn't do shit with it.
Exactly. You want me to give you an example, like of when? You know that Reinders chance, where Reinders clipped it over? Midfield runner. Who tracked him?
He just went his way. He just went his way, bro. No one.
Exactly. No one. That wasn't a sneaky run around the back of someone. He ran through the midfield.
Right through the midfield, exactly.
And was able to get a 1v1.
The last goal City scored, bro. We had the ball. We the one had the ball, bro. And them man just chilled. They just chilled and say, okay, come attack us then. Exactly. And we just chilled. I still don't understand bringing Maguire on there to do what, bro? Brother, we playing against Usain Bolt up front, who's built like a Hulk, bro. And you're going to put Maguire there.
I don't understand.
And the halfway line. I couldn't get that at all. I couldn't get it, bro. Halfway line, Maguire.
This ain't the first time Amorim's done this. Why does he keep changing centre-backs when you're losing?
Bro, I don't know if remember Fergie used to do a mad thing. Yeah? He would take off someone, put a centre-back up there and just push everyone up and long ball. We ain't even doing that, though. I don't know what my man's doing, bro. I don't know what he's doing, bro. I don't know what's going on. He's just moving mad, doing some mad things, bro.
Ain't it? Putting Maguire on before Xerxes, like before another forward, if you want to get someone up there and have a more physical. Yeah, but with substitutions and that, I try to lay off of that, because with substitutions, it's always hindsight. Look at how you set up and how you felt beforehand, and what you felt beforehand came to fruition in this game. Is midfield's a problem. Foden drifting in between the lines. Oh, suddenly now Foden's the best player back in England now. But this is Man United's a perfect opponent for that, for you to be a number 10 to gain your confidence. I mean, I saw Smith Rowe come on and he scored against you. Josh Cullen, before the international break, did he grab a goal against you as well? Was it him for Burnley?
Yeah.
Another Burnley midfielder. Yeah. So this isn't something this is a pattern now. And then when you see these patterns being developed, what are you going to do to change it? This is where the real management comes in. That's where you earn your money. How do you stop this? How do you stop teams doing this against you?
I have a question though, because I was talking to Brush about this like probably last week or something. I was like, Brush, something just making me think that Amorim is coming into this game too confident. He's thinking that, you know what, City's with injuries, we could do them. I just kept thinking this man's thinking we could do them, and he would just go for it, bro, and just do a madness. And the way we started the game is like, this man said, yo, we could take these man, Brother, you could never just go to City and think you're going to take them, bro. It don't work that way. Don't work that way, bro. And Pep just was just relaxed. That's the most relaxed I've seen Pep in a while, bro. Because he's always agitating on the sideline, and my man was just chilling.
Do you know what do we say in life? What do we say in life, man? You see the real character of a person when things are going bad. So in a football match,
and the back's against the wall.
When you see the real marks of a team is when you're up against it, when you have to suffer in those moments. That's how you see if a team's really together and where's the weakest point in the team. You don't see it when everything's going good, in the moments where, everything, the free-flowing football, your wing-backs are getting into the box, crossing, strikers getting shots off, etc. No, it's when you're up against the cosh, you have to get in your block, get in your 2 blocks, suffer, defend your box. That's where you see the team. That's where you see the weakest chain in the link. And every time Man United get that test in games, they concede goals. This is a problem, and they're conceding goals in a similar way. And your manager should be addressing that in changes, whether it's changes in tactical information or personnel. We're not seeing those changes. Didn't this back three all start at the beginning from game week 1? They've started every game from game week 1 in the Prem.
Yeah. I don't think our captain is painting himself in glory, because he is waffling differently, He is waffling, bro. Bro, my man's blaming everyone, bro. And he don't realize he's stinking the place out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a techie one, man. Like, large ups to Wajid on the Maguire point. He's saying because he got important goals last season. So from that perspective, you get it, but I know there's going to be a lot of people that don't like it at all, because logically, like what T said, when you have attacking options to come off the bench and you're chasing the game and you need a goal, surely you're going to bring and trust those guys first and foremost before you throw your last minute desperation heave, your full court heave onto the pitch.
Yep.
Roden said Amorim is very inexperienced at this level, and after spending 200 million, the pressure is on qualifying for Europe. He's not won back-to-back games. It's ridiculous. And it's a damning indictment. There's the guy here who said, I'm not cutting my hair until we win, what is it, 5 games in a row.
That brother, his own hair is going to kill him, bro. His own hair is going to kill him, bro.
That's not happening.
It's mad.
He's cooked. You know them brothers that got the hair touching the ground. You know them Rasta man that got the dreadlocks just dragging on the floor.
It's not looking good for that brother, bro. It's not looking good for that brother.
His hair's defo gonna get locked soon. It's defo.
Bro, his hair is gonna strangle him, bro, in his sleep, bro. It's long day for that brother, bro. Long, bro. No, because it's not nice, bro. Imagine you as a viewer. Yeah, I know I watched the video of him. He said he started it off as a joke. Yeah, he didn't think it was gonna get this bad. But, bro, he's gonna be sleeping one night, bro. His hair is gonna strangle him, bro. Because, brother, can you, man, actually look at the calendar with all the fixtures and see back-to-back wins for us coming up? Can y'all look at that and see that?
You got Sunderland and Brentford, but I was quite impressed with Brentford on the weekend, to be fair.
Exactly. Exactly.
I think that could cause you problems with
brother,
them.
Because they know how to play the back three. They know how to play the back three.
Yeah, exactly. And they know how to get midfield runners. They know how to get their centre-backs to push up, like Pinnock. And Pinnock was rusty, but...
Man, like Snoop Dogg, yeah?
Yeah. This is it, like... these managers, like look at Crystal Palace. Yeah, you can play good attacking football with a back three. It's just knowing how to do it and how to negate these areas of weakness. Like Crystal Palace had the same issue in terms of midfielders. They don't particularly have two engines when they play Wharton and Will Hughes. You know what I mean? They're not they're not runners per se. Like Wharton's probably weakest part of his game is out of possession. And Will Hughes isn't Declan Rice or Caicedo in terms of an engine, but they're able to get players in and around them, congest the spaces.
Yeah.
Whereas, when United are pressing, look at how disconnected the midfield is to the defense.
I'm glad you brought that point up here because it's not just this season, it's not last season, brother. This been going on. I'm not blaming. Get what I'm saying? I'm not blaming Bruno for this. This is even before that, bro. Because you remember when Bruno came in, he was the only one who wanted to run to go press people.
Yeah.
This has been going on since that, bro. We don't know how to press, bro. We don't know what pressing looks like, bro. It's just one person will run off there, and the rest will be looking at him like saying, why is he running up there? And then the next person will try to do a light jog to get up there.
Yeah.
And then we just disjointed. And teams just play right. Bro, every team in the Premier League plays straight through us, I've never seen that, bro. Every team plays straight through us.
You know what? At first, that a lot of the thing would have been people saying a lack of discipline. But at this point, there's just got to be a lack of understanding in terms of what they're working on in the training pitch. Whether the coaches are overcomplicating what needs to be done, I don't know. But whenever I watch Manchester United, especially nowadays, it just seems like after a certain point, Roden said it earlier, when stuff hits the fan or when they're in a pressurized situation after conceding a goal or whatsoever, it just seems like everything, the game plan goes out of the window, the understanding, because we start games relatively well. They look like they're structured. They look like they understand what they're going into the game and what they want to do. And then once we hit a certain time period of the game or the intensity starts to pick up on the other end, all of a sudden we start to see those tendencies from a Manchester United team that we're also familiar with.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're spot on, bro. And that's when the game begins to get stretched and the gaps starts appearing. And Man United as a team, as a collective, aren't able to ride through those moments, and you don't see them as compact as a team as they should be. And that's why I think opposition know, they'll start well as long as they don't score and have something to hold on to. We can hold on and get back. We can get into this game and we can feel our way into it, and then we can find our 10. And you look like. I don't want Liverpool to be coming up for you guys now, because this is when Wirtz is going to kick off, and Wirtz is going to look like the £100 million signing that he's not looked like so far,
bro.
Because he'll start picking up these spaces.
You know what's mad? Yeah, I spoke to CM like probably an hour before, and I was like, bro, I do not want to play Liverpool. It's going to be nasty. When I watched Liverpool, you remember how Ferguson, how we were under Fergie, bro. Even when we played shit, bro, we're going to win the game still.
Yeah.
That man stung the place out against Burnley, and still got a damn penalty from nowhere, bro. You think I want to play them, man? It's going to be a landslide.
I know. It does
landslide,
feel like
bro.
And
Isak first goal in coming against us, bro.
Wirtz his first goal, and that's the issue.
And assist, goal and assist that game.
Yeah. I see what
it will spin someone as well.
Exactly. I see what Nicky's saying. Has Amorim lost the dressing room? For me, watching it as an outsider, it doesn't look like that yet, because I still see the players in trying to execute. There's not they're not half like jogging back and not putting in effort. I don't see that from what I'm looking at, and they are still going in games like towards the end of that one, maybe because it's a derby, it's a little bit different. And Man United have tended to step up in these big games, like first game of the season against us.
Get a yellow card at least, do something, man. A bunch of losers, bro.
So there, and as you said, CM, you see the structure in the beginning of games. When you see Man United under Oli towards the end and Ten Hag, there was no structure at all. It was free rolling, and I don't see that in terms of the players. Some for some reason, he's got the silver tongue to keep the players on side, and I think the players do like him to an extent. the ones that are there now anyway, not the bomb squad that's just been gotten rid of. But what I will say is, Nick and everyone else, results. If you don't get results, then the players will stop believing. The players can only go for so long, and then when they stop believing, trust me, it'll be clear to see then, and then he'll be gone before you know it. That's what gets managers sacked for me. Is unless you're Chelsea, it's purely based on results for them. But what gets managers sacked is the players start believing, and then when the players start believing, then there's no choice. But yeah, it won't be long if it keeps like this though.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's a good point, and I wanna, because this is gonna be one of the final kind of questions of this segment, revolving around the Manchester City game and onwards. Moving forward, and let's not speak about any potential signings. January's far away. We don't really know what we're gonna do there, and especially the summer. Forget signings for a second. Thinking from a tactical perspective, how can the situation be salvaged in terms of getting results in the immediate and short term?
See, I think there's only two things people want to remember Amorim for, you know. One, well, clearing out that man who we needed to go, bro, because we needed people to leave the club. We needed that. That and the fact that he just can't win games, bro. I saw something a little early on before we came live there with that. It was showing all Manchester United managers' win record, bro. Yeah, Amorim is like, boy, it's not looking good, bro. He's all the way down there. He's down there, bro. Down there. He's down there.
I'm sure.
It's not looking good with us, though.
I've got something here. Yeah. What does it say? Since match day 12 of the 24-25 season, Ruben Amorim's first game in charge, no ever-present Premier League team have performed worse than Manchester United. 31 points from 31 games, minus 13 goal difference.
Yeah.
No, let that set in, bro. You know how bad that is. You know how bad that is.
That's I'm telling you, like mid-table teams will sack the managers for less.
Brother, not just that, bro. Every team's gonna pull up at Old Trafford now and say, we could have these, man. We could have them. Bro, there's no fear factor no more. Anyone pull up to Old Trafford, they'll be like, we could do these, man.
Like, this is it, and this is where it goes to your question, CM. For me, for what the first thing that you have to do, the manager has to do and the team does, stop conceding high-quality shots. So build it from the back. Let's go into games. Let's make sure that we're not giving teams in too much to work with. And then you can let your quality, at least for the beginning, let your quality determine the games. Let the quality of your forwards do it. Because I do think you have got very good forwards now. Like, I like Umbermo, I like Cunha. Like those, even if they wouldn't come to Arsenal per se, those, if they didn't end up at Man United, I think they'd have ended up at a top 5 team in the Premier League, if not in Europe. You know what I mean? Like, because of the seasons that they had. Šeško was sought after. So he's a decent player, decent potential. I would always looking at potential then, that's a different conversation. But there is quality in this team. There's goal scorers, there's match winners. We saw it in the Europa League run. You guys weren't particularly great. You let a load of chances in, but your quality turned over in the end, and you was better than most of those teams in the Europa League, even in games that you didn't necessarily play well. So if you can just keep games close and tight, not letting shots up against you, not letting these high quality set pieces, that's a big thing, because this is where teams are getting opportunities now. Arsenal didn't do anything. Arsenal poor in their first game, but set piece, and we just knew that we was able to get an opportunity from there. Arsenal, again, a little bit of an anomaly, because we seem to be able to everyone, no matter who we play, we score a set piece. So, but yeah, against Burnley, giving them opportunities, giving off good chances against a team that you shouldn't be giving good opportunities to. It should be a 1 or 2-0 game. Simple, instead you having to go score a third, but it shows you got the quality to go and get those second goals. So for me, building from the base, stop letting these teams running through your middle of your park, but is that going? Let me ask you now, this question. Do you believe that's going to change under Ruben Amorim at any
Hell
point?
no.
I have
He ain't changing.
no belief at all. And that is strictly not even off of his words, but his actions. I feel like Ruben Amorim is at a spot of his Manchester United career now where he has to live up to what he says. Otherwise, he's going to be labelled a hypocrite. And continuously, he has said, I will stick to what I do. I will stick to what I do. And if change is needed, Ineos have to pull the trigger. And I think eventually he will force Ineos to pull the trigger. How long that will be, I'm not too sure. But
Yeah.
I don't see with this pattern of the way we play, how we execute throughout within games. I don't see our fortune changing in terms of results, because I've been saying since last season, we can get played off the park by any Premier League team within a certain time period of a game, whether that's 20, 25 minutes, a half, it doesn't matter. Any Premier League team can exploit the weaknesses of Manchester United, but Manchester United struggle to exploit the weaknesses of other Premier League opposition.
You know what? It's like I don't mean to bring up the Trinidad versus Jamaica game here. After the game, you know what Dwight York said? Yeah, he said when he watched Trinidad how they play, it's like the team and all the player mentalities, they're just reactive. They ain't proactive, and they have to change that. Yeah. And that's how I see Amorim. You know, it's like after a game he will talk the good talk, bro. But during the game, you ain't doing it, bro. You ain't telling these man, or I'm making changes to make us think that, you know what, he tried to change something here, it just didn't come off. You get what I'm saying? If I can see you try something but it didn't come off, I'll accept that, you know. But nothing, and we just there, and we just hoping that somebody does a mad thing and we could get hype from that. But there's nothing going on, bro. I need you as a manager to be proactive, bro, not reactive and just sitting there and hoping, you know what, if they score, I will change this. Bro, if you see a situation going on, adjust things, bro. Be a manager that could be on the front foot. Don't allow it to go on long and then fester. And when it gets out of control, then you're like, you know what, maybe we should change this, you know. What do you think, bro? We should change this here, bro? We should... Bro, change it, bro. Don't be talking and doing nonsense, man. I don't want to see that shit is pissing me off, you know. Yeah. Because we can't watch a game and think that, you know what, because what annoys me the most is that we as fans, bro, we don't have no damn coaching badges. We ain't got no damn UEFA, none of this damn shit. We just watching the game, bro, and we could tell you, yo, there's so much space there, bro. Why don't just like exploit this? Next thing you know, shit happens, exploit the down space, score goals, and we just there like, so if we are seeing this, how you man getting paid all this money and can't see this, bro? Well, what's going on? Are they too comfortable or something?
Feels like it. It does indeed. That's you know what, Realist, that is a good point about being proactive, because Man United can see when you go through your worst periods in games, you always concede. So why ain't you able to react to that and say, okay, something's changed now, momentum shifted? If Amorim was proactive though, Realist, he would have changed his system by now. So this is an issue with him that doesn't look like it's changing soon. And as long as results keep going that way. And the thing is, again, I don't actually think this group is a bad group of players. It's not like last season or, you know, at the end of Ten Hag. I don't think this group should be anywhere near mid-table, at the bottom end of it anyway. Like, it's good. You can get goals. You've got creators. I actually think Bruno's good and decent. I wouldn't mind him. I wouldn't mind a creator of that. I wouldn't mind his profile at my club. And I think he could. And I know there's other issues around it, like what happens in games and he's moaning, blah, blah, blah. But that's not the point. The main point is he's got quality and Buemo's got goals. Amad Diallo, look at how influential he was. He was pulling things. He probably kept Ruben Amorim in the job at this moment in time. And there's quality in there. And yes, they're inconsistent, but not to this level of inconsistent where they're consistently bad. They're not even inconsistent anymore. They're just consistently not performing to the level, which isn't. This isn't the group. That's not for the talent that you've got and the wages and the price that they command.
Do you all think Ineos is just willing to ride it out with him, bro? Because it don't look like if they're pressing the issue, bro. Because brother, I know it's the early in the season still, but this has been stinky, bro.
Well,
4 games, 4 points.
We can't, take it with a pinch of salt when it comes to reports, but they're saying that Ineos are sticking by Ruben Amorim. Now, we have heard in the past of periods where the ownership has said we're sticking with him, we want to see out this project, and then all of a sudden a horrific result comes by and the manager's gone. So, like I said, take it with a pinch of salt, but like when we was talking, Realest, you were saying like this constant cycle of getting rid of managers and bringing in a new one, getting rid of managers, bringing in a new one, it can act as being counterproductive in a sense when you think about squad building, just overall building a team. So I get that point, and I also share that same sentiment because it is frustrating where you spend two or so years on a manager, signing all of these players. Somebody in the chat said spending over 200 million, amounting to nothing, and then you reset again. So then you have players from multiple different managers, you have staff at the club from multiple different management periods, and all of these things just cluttering Manchester United. And that's what's happened over all of these years, over 10 years now, since 2013, just cluttering the club from David Moyes now all the way up to Ruben Amorim.
Yeah, it's true, man. And Roland makes a good point in the chat, because he's spoken about him, about Amorim being emotional, and he's talking about the team. He's very emotional. Your team is a reflection on the manager. Arsenal get a lot. I have to hear it all the time in terms of how Arsenal play. Arsenal play negative. That's our manager wants to build from the back first. He wants to build from a strong defense, and he thinks that's going to be what's going to be the difference for us winning or not. Is going to be as how strong as our defense, and then hopefully now the quality in our attack is going to make the difference. The team reflects your manager, and those lows that you hit, and those lows looking really bad, and then it does get really low. It's kind of like what the manager says. Sometimes I love my players, sometimes I hate them. The way he speaks in conferences,
even that was a madness to say, bro. Bro.
Exactly. He's emotional.
He couldn't watch and you know what? I try my best not to hold these things against you, but I have to say, he couldn't watch a penalty shootout against Grimsby Town.
You look at the reason you analyze these things, CM, is because you're trying to make sense of what you're seeing. Why my team not beating Grimsby? But then you look at your manager and you're seeing that, and you're like, does that we're over-indexing probably small things because you're trying to make sense. How come we're struggling to beat Grimsby? My manager doesn't look brave enough. Again, he can't show solidarity with his players. It doesn't. Obviously, it's not important, and some people will say, of course, but he's not the one taking the penalties. That shouldn't matter. But then, you're looking for the mentality, the psyche, trying to tap into the psyche of the team, aren't you? And if that's what the manager's like, and he can't watch penalties and he can't stick it out and brave it for his players, then how do you think the players are feeling? You understand? So this is where, the proof will be in the pudding. What's your upcoming games now before the international break? Because this will be vital if it keeps his job.
Brentford, Sunderland, is it?
Yeah, it's long, dude.
And they're two of them at home, innit, as well.
Let me see, Man United. I believe so. Let me see.
And 4 weeks rest as well, because you ain't got no Carabao Cup. You ain't got no European
no League Cup at all. So we got this weekend, Saturday, 5:30 is Chelsea. 27th is the 12:30 dreaded kickoff against Brentford away, and then back at home on the 4th of October against Sunderland, and then I believe we go on international break after that.
Forget results. You have to see differences in performance. Like, the results obviously important, but you can't go 3-2 Burnley last minute penalty again. You just can't afford to do that. Against
bro, you know what, yeah? This Russian and I always say this, yeah? Bro, I don't care if you win 1-0. Give me a performance, bro. That I could see something and say, you know what? This looks promising. But when we win 5-4, bro. But with that 5-4 there, oh my God, bro. There's some diabolical stuff going on. Own goals, just bare madness, bro. I can't watch that, bro. That's watching you see, I'm terrified for all the folks who grew up watching United, you know, because brother, they get old now, they probably sick, bro. They probably have heart problems. You can't watch this team, bro. They're gonna kill you, bro. This shit ain't good for you. You can't watch United if you have high blood pressure and shit, bro. That shit's gonna kill you.
Facts.
Because watching these man, your blood starts boiling, bro. Because it's just bare nonsense, bro. Bare nonsense are going.
Listen, hey, okay, we'll move on to the final topic of the show, yeah, because this is peak. Now, we've spoken about it on a previous show, Realest, but it's gonna be interesting to hear T's insight on this, right? Because I know you probably heard and been reading up on the Kobe Mainoo situation.
Yep.
Ruben Amorim and his comments before the derby. An article came out on The Athletic, published by Carl Anker and Jessica Hopkins, where Ruben Amorim doubled down on his opinion and gave more insights on Kobe Mainoo's situation, basically alluding to the fact that he thinks that Kobe needs to play with more pace. My interpretation after reading the entire article was him speaking from a perspective of intensity and tenacity, both offensively and defensively at times. And then a couple of quotes. So he said, Mainoo is really good at controlling the game, but if he plays as an 8, he has to reach the box, return and track back. And sometimes he has to cover a lot of space with just 2. Bruno is doing that job, and then sometimes it's bad luck. Another quote, Bruno is maybe the more influential player in the last few years, and he's been playing in that position. Kobe Mainoo could play as a 6 defensive midfielder, but sometimes he passes the ball and goes away, and it's not a reference as a 6. So we have to balance everything. And I've been thinking, with the continuous issues regarding Manchester United's midfield, now I don't necessarily think it's a plug and play situation and then our worries are going to be fixed. Everybody is kind of praying that once we get to that January transfer window, we're actually going to spend some money on a midfielder, which is what we didn't do during this summer. But with the topic of Kobe Mainoo still fresh in on the tongues of many Manchester United fans, wanting to see him get more of an opportunity when, of course, we've got Bruno Fernandes in the midfield. Realest has been very critical of his role in the midfield, especially defensively, and the role that he plays and the stability he's not exactly able to provide in that midfield on a consistent basis. But then on the other side of that midfield, we've also got the likes of Manuel Ugarte, who hasn't really been consistently playing well. We've got Casemiro, who can still contribute at a certain level, but can't keep up with the pace and the requirements of playing within that midfield too. Does Kobe Mainoo deserve a better shot, a bigger chance at proving himself and showcasing what exactly he can do for, on a consistent basis? Because of course, it's a given. With what we've seen from this Manchester United side, midfielders are going to be exposed, and that's going to expose our defensive back 3. But still, with all of the, in my opinion, pointless conversation that's going on, surely Kobe Mainoo deserves an opportunity to prove and to stake a claim in that midfield.
Exactly that. And under conditions that suit not just Kobe Mainoo, but the team. Because you've listed out those midfielders right there, and there's a glaring weakness in every one of them. Mobility. And none of them are suited for this 2 in midfield. In possession, Ugarte, you can't give Ugarte that much responsibility in possession because he's just not good enough. And his quality is out of possession, and even he's looking like a fish out of water in moments out of possession and having those same issues that you talk about with Casemiro, where he looks a fish out of water in certain aspects. In Bruno, not tracking runners and not being able to do the midfield work, like, in the opposite way. He's got a lot of energy in the press and he's good in the final third, but when it goes the other way, when he's met third man runs, he's a weakness in that area. So everyone that you've got in there, Mason Mount, we haven't seen him play in there. He's played more in the 10 role. Everyone's been having those issues. So that's where it says for me, you have to put Kobe Mainoo in. If you want to play him in the 2, be my guest, because what he can give you in possession, I think is worth it. in terms of a pressing team, like if you're coming up against a team like a Man City, where you saw when he was under pressure in a few occasions, he was able to dribble and drive. He's a carry first. That's what Kobbie Mainoo is. If you look at his statistics in terms of passing ain't progressive. He's not a bad passer, but he plays it a bit more safe.
He progressed the ball himself. Yeah, he progressed himself.
Yeah, he carries it himself. He's a carry first, and rather in that aspect, and he can carry. He's good in tight situations, and that's if you make the pitch compact. If you make the pitch compact, the spaces, you don't make it as stretched as it is right now, so you bring your defense a bit higher. That's where Kobbie Mainoo will shine, because when it gets tight, he can play 1-2. He can dribble around the corner. What was you going to say, Realist?
And that's what I was saying to you. That's why we could just bin this whole 2 and just drop an extra man in the midfield, bro. And they're perfect. They're perfect. Because that means you could have either Casemiro or Ogate, Bruno and Kobbie. I think we said, bro. We said. Because when it's like this way, one wants to go help join, create and help out. And then the next one is just there, bro. He just have to be there. He can't move, bro. And if he switches off for one moment, it's over with.
Realist and see. This is what it was simple. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, probably the worst tactician of a manager you've had. He's not a coach. He's not a tactician. But even he recognised double pivot and a 10, and that double pivot will help McFred, who didn't suit each other, were able to get me enough points to keep me in the job and get me.
They will run all game, bro. They'll kick people. They'll do everything, bro. They'll just run all game. And leave that man on the pitch there. You man create. Do something up there, bro. Just make sure and do something. These man just kick you and win the ball, bro.
Like Ogate and Mainoo with Bruno in the 10. And then Bruno can drop deep when he needs to progress. If you struggle to progress the ball, because that's what Bruno's good for. He can do that. He's probably a better.
Give Kobbie a chance to make a third man run going past him.
Exactly. And then you can bring your defenders up. Because Yoro's got pace. Delict's not a slouch. So they can cover large spaces. And your fullbacks are quite quick. Dorgu's rapid. And he looks more comfortable making late runs rather than being so far forward in the beginning of attacks. Like, that's where Dorgu, you see it yesterday, and I was getting quite frustrated with him because I was like, the end product, the cross, it's not quite right. It's too far. It's too deep. It's near man. It's near post. Like, he hasn't got that in his game yet, but he's a threat. So if you can get him making later runs on that side, and then where defenses, and then when Sesko can make that run into the box, and then Mbeumo adds an extra body, listen, it will just benefit the team. So yes, Kobbie Mainoo deserves a chance. Amorim, are you able now? The question is, are you able to adapt, change what your system is to get these results? You said after Grimsby, and I thought after Grimsby there might actually be a little bit of adaptation when he said the players have made it clear what they want.
I actually thought he was going to change it, bro. When he said that, I thought he was going to change it. And all he changed was his mind, bro. He just changed his mind.
And exactly. And then in the pre-match press conference, he said, I'm emotional. I said things, and that's not going to change. So here we go again. Like, that's the thing, man. I'm getting frustrated, and I'm not even a Man United fan. I'm meant to be enjoying this.
Oh, well, imagine how we feel, bro. Brother, Tariq, listen to this. Yeah, last season, we were stressed, bro. And this season started, it's 4 games, bro. And I already don't want to watch no more.
Yeah. Exactly.
I said to read this on the call earlier. Towards the end of the game, I turned on Netflix. I was binge watching a series to see out the game.
This brother watching a series, you know how mad that is.
Anymore. Do you think, bro, Saturday, Sunday, it does not matter. It could be Monday for all I care. If the game is without reach, and this is the worst part, yeah. I'm watching the game allegedly. And I'm sitting down watching the game with my mum, and we're hearing the phone alerts go off allegedly before the goals even go in. Allegedly. So it's big. I hear the shout out to Footmob. Cool. Let me turn on Netflix and watch the series that I've been watching from Friday, from Saturday. Let me continue that on Sunday too, because last season I was drained. We were all drained watching this team. Because it's just the same thing every single week. Same thing again and again and again. There is no hope going into a matchup. We came on the show, yeah, and I'm gonna label myself a crackhead, bro. Man's talking about puff up chest. Why am I
Whoa,
talking
whoa,
about
whoa.
puff up chest when it comes to Manchester United? There's no puffed chest.
There's no chest to puff.
Forget
when
it.
it's Man United,
Bro.
Just walk into the game and say whatever will be in it. But there's no expectations no more. No expectation. The only expectation is that this team will
How bad? It's just how bad.
How bad is
That's
it?
what you
gonna
can
get?
expect, you know. How bad it's gonna be, bro. That's it. How bad?
And when it's good, it's like, oh, well done. Well, what's going to happen next week?
And even when it's good, bro, it's a stinky. It's good, you know. You're just there, you're like, flip it, hell, bro.
Yeah. You man are in that you man are in that stage where you feel apathy, where you feel numb to it now. And that's worse than anything, you know, by the way. Because when Arsenal lose a game now, it hits me hard and I'm like, get really disappointed because I have, you know, because you expect better this team in moments. So it's like, oh, I've seen you do better. I'm really hurt. I'm disappointed. I'm angry. But I remember when under Emery, for example, towards the end, Arsenal lost. It is what it is. I'm expected it anyway. That's worse, bro. Because you don't even have any emotion towards it and you're watching it and then you see a goal concede and you're not, oh no, disappointed looking ref. Where's the linesman? It's it's a goal.
Dude, you know what's mad, yeah? Bro, I went to church, bro, and there's this little child, bro. He's a Man City fan, bro. This brother's laughing at me, bro. And I'm just looking at him, bro. I want to punch the twat. Can't do nothing to him.
The house of God, you know.
I'm just looking at him, bro. I'm like, this is crazy, bro. He's a child, bro, just laughing and talking about your team stinks. I'm like, I can't even tell this brother about the treble, bro. He wasn't even born yet, bro. You don't even know what I'm talking about.
Nah, bro. I
can't tell him anything, bro.
I was one.
I can't tell him nothing, bro. When I tell this brother about treble, bro, he talk about Man City's doing, bro, and I'm pissed, bro.
Yeah.
I can't say shit. I'm just there. Just have a little child cooking me, but my team being stinky, bro. I went to the barber shop, yeah? My barber shop, Tariq, yeah? My barber looks just like you, Tariq. That's the problem, yeah? And he's a bloody Arsenal fan, bro. Shit pisses me off, you know.
Oh, man.
Bro, I've just been going through it, you know. Every time I go to the barber shop, bro, I'm getting cooked, bro. So I have to be fighting for my life, you know.
That kid's coming around with the offering basket. Readers have just got swatting that basket into the sky, fam.
Going from here, man. Going from here, bro. Waste, man. Bro. Nah, bro, I've been going through it, bro. I'm going through it, bro. And you know what's going on now? What's making it worse? Bro, the Trinidad fans, yeah, they started to cuss Dwight York, bro, saying these dead Man United people coming to coach our team. We getting cooked all wrong, bro. It's not nice, you know.
Oh, boy.
And you did all of that yesterday in front of Fergie.
Yeah, but Fergie needs to stay home and watch these games, bro. I keep trying to tell him, bro, stay home, bro. Stay home, bro.
We listen, Fergie's always there.
He's doing it to himself at this point. He's doing this to himself at this point, bro. Bro, stay home, bro.
It's true, still.
Rushing the comments saying Sunderland is the only 3 points I'm seeing over the next few weeks.
I don't even know, bro. I don't even know.
Paxton, Kobe has the potential to grow and develop, whereas most of our other options don't. And he also said, watching Manchester United is like a chore these times. Like, do I really want to do this again? And it's an abusive relationship, bro.
One last thing on that, because that's perfect from what Paxton's saying. Amorim, you're clearly trying to build something for the long term. That's why you're sticking for it. Then why are you putting short-term players in midfield? Why wouldn't you rather give Kobe the games to develop rather than, you know, play a 31-year-old Bruno who's not out of position? Yeah, he's your best player. But you should put him further up the pitch, who ain't going to be in that position next season, more time, because he'll probably head off to Saudi next summer. And rather put in Kobe and then put Bruno in the 10, where he could actually get you some results and goals that can win you the games. Just doesn't make sense to me. He packs. I hear it, man. It's just confusing. He's a confusing man.
Bro, I just need 3 in midfield, bro. Give me 3 in midfield, bro, and I'm gonna be cool, bro. Give me 3 in midfield, and I'm good, bro.
Ain't it?
This 2 is not it, bro.
All right. To round off the show, we've got a wonderful guest here, and I'm just gonna leave this part. Yeah, let's go back to Tariq. Welcome to Tariq Talks, innit?
Thank you.
Tariq Talks, and also, what have been your thoughts on Arsenal's start to this season? Because with United Tropics, I want to start bringing guys on. Tariq, thank you for coming through, Arsenal fan. But, you know, if anybody knows people that want to come through to the show, we'll mix it up with them probably offline and get a vibe and a gist of what they could bring and what they want to speak about. But you know, Tariq talks. He's an Arsenal fan. He's gonna be speaking about Arsenal most likely on
But
the
no
show
Liverpool
very
fans there.
soon as well.
No Liverpool fans, Tariq. No Liverpool fans. We can't deal with that one, bro. Nah, we can't deal with that one, bro. No.
Hey. Oh yeah, that's a techie one. But Tariq,
Yeah, we can't deal with
what
them.
do you think about Arsenal's start to the season? Of course, you got Champions League kicking off this week against Athletic Bilbao.
Yep.
But you guys in the Premier League, in terms of your performances thus far, what are your thoughts?
I'm delighted, bro. And the best way to put it, probably the word is, I'm excited for what's coming. Because with this season so far, we've seen a lot of change, and I think that's kind of got underrated in the narrative of, you know, what outsiders, I'd say. Because like when you listen to Sky Sports and you listen to the pundits, they make it seem like this Arsenal group has been together for 5-6 years. I mean, Salah said it in the interview before the Arsenal game. He was like, he says Arsenal favourites because this Arsenal team have been together for 5-6 years. Excuse me. It's only Saka, Martinelli, and Gabriel were here 5 years ago. Everyone else has only come within the recent years. And look at the amount of signings that we've made. We saw the weaknesses that we had last season. My biggest thing was squad depth. We didn't have the depth to cope with injuries. And our performances took a big hit. Even when we did have the players fit and available, Arsenal were a bit predictable and weren't able to have much goal threat from other areas apart from Saka. Saka was the only biggest goal threat. We'd have others that would just chip in with the odd goal or two. You know, we had players that could get in and around the 10 to 15 goal mark, but we didn't even get players over that due to the injuries that we had. So when Kai Havertz was out, he ended up like our top goal scorer, out injured for the rest of the season. We're having to play Mikel Merino. Arsenal lacked in depth in those in the attacking areas in particular and defensively. Now, fast forward to this weekend, Arsenal go with no Saka, no Saliba, Rice is on the bench, Ødegaard comes off within 15 minutes, and no Havertz, no White. White doesn't even come on. And if you'd have told me 2 years ago, Arsenal playing a game without those players, and we're going to win 3-0 and comfortably, I'd have laughed, even if you would have gave us Southampton, who got relegated. Because you remember when we drew 3-3 against Southampton, who got relegated, and you saw the drop-off in Arsenal's performance. There wasn't a drop-off, and we actually saw improvements in certain areas, and that's what gives me positivity and confidence. The fact that before the international break, everyone... I'm so disappointed in how Arsenal played. And Arsenal had to take something at Anfield. They had an opportunity. Liverpool, this is what Jamie Carragher said, Liverpool have brand new players settling in. Liverpool had 3 players that were brand new starting. Arsenal had 4. So where's the narrative come from that? Oh, Arsenal, they've not been together they've been together for ages. This starting 11 don't need to adapt. They're fine. That's not facts. What was you going to say? Yeah?
Can I say I don't agree with the fact that, you know, this team has more players settling in, or they've been together for this amount of time. I think that's a ridiculous conversation, because most likely every transfer window there are going to be moving pieces, whether it be players going out of the door or coming in. I did agree sometimes that with Arsenal, especially when it goes into those big games, I want to see them put down more of a marker. Not to say that Liverpool game early in the season, only a few games in, is essential, a must win, or the season's over, or you overreact or anything of the sort. But sometimes I would like to see Arsenal put a flag down and say, we're here.
Yeah. I see what you're saying there. And yeah, again, shoulda, woulda, coulda, if buts, maybes. I think us missing those key players, you don't see the best of Arsenal, but you saw a good enough Arsenal which could have got something out of the game, and I think Arteta recognises that. First, I think these games paint a lot, because these were probably the most watched games at a point. So Arsenal against Man United, that wasn't a good game in the beginning of the season, and people are like, oh, if Arsenal got away with one here, like they weren't very good, they didn't really attack Man United as much and whatnot. I think the Liverpool game, which nobody really attacked. Liverpool didn't attack either, and they were at home. But because they got the free kick and they got the points, it's a little bit different. And then the Man City game from a couple of seasons ago, isn't it? That's where that's what sticks into the mind of people. And when that was a 0-0. And I think Arsenal did go play for they were happy with the draw because that draw kept the title in our hands at that point. So I think those paint the picture a lot. But then I can give you other games, like when we played Liverpool last season at home, I think we went for it. We went for it. We drew 2-2. It was all right, entertaining game. Arsenal against Man City last season. People forget it because Louis Skelly took all the talk at that point because of his celebration. But Arsenal won 5-1 against Man City. Arsenal have played against Chelsea, and we went there and we drew 2-2. We drew 1-1 in difficult periods. Arsenal have gone for it in these big games. Of course, Arteta, his primarily thought is to keep games tight. And our big 6 games wasn't the issue. It was the games against West Ham, Fulham, Crystal Palace, Brentford, those types of teams, those where we drop the points. And yeah, those big games tend to be close, don't they? They tend to be, unless it's, yesterday. But but yeah, those against like Liverpool, Man City, they're not blowouts. They're not 4-3s. They're not that often. They're going to be 2-2s, 1-0s, 2-0s. They tend to be close. I just think Arsenal were looked at in a different way. And I think we're going to be until we win something, which is why I think it's so important to win something. Because look at the best way to put it is, and I don't blame people for doing it, because you look at Liverpool yesterday, win 1-0 or those late goals. People go, oh, stuff for champions, sign of champions. That's the first thing you think. But when Arsenal do it, because we haven't got that trophy to our name, bit emotional that is Arsenal relying against set pieces to beat Burnley. Yeah, that's not good enough. Winning builds trust, I think, and then people trust Liverpool now because they've won it, because they've proven it, they've done it. So people are like, oh yeah, Liverpool will be fine. They're going to click. It's just a matter of time. Arsenal don't have that yet, so we're still on the back foot. Okay, we need to see something from Arsenal now, which is why I think it's so important we go and win this season. And if Arsenal drop points, it's, this is why they don't win. This is why they can't, whether it's against Liverpool, not going for it. Arsenal could have went for that game and lost 2-0 or 3-0. And then people aren't going to say, you know what, at least Arsenal went for it. It's going to be, nah, this is where Arsenal are. They don't have the mentality. So that's why I think just win. Those 2 words, bro. It's just win. Once you win, the narrative changes. You Man United fans, you know it, especially when you was going through the Fergie days, when you was at your pomp. Nobody was questioning, you had to beat Newcastle 4-3 thanks to a last-minute Chicharito winner. Is that a sign of that you're defensively not good enough this season? No. The narrative was, Man United do it again. Stuff for champions. This is the mentality. They know how to win. Your mentality gets questioned when you don't win, when you don't get over the line. So once we get over the line, those things will start to change, and Arsenal fans will be less frustrated and less having to go on social media trying to defend ourselves. So yeah, that's why it's important this season. Get the win. Man City next week, man. Man City look like people, people go to and fro with Man City. Oh, they're back. Oh, they're not. They're still bad. Oh, now they're back. We'll have to see. We need to see a performance. I want to see goals. I want to see multiple goals. Depends how Man City set up as well, by the way. It's not just Arsenal setting up. Depends if Man City want to make it a bit of a... From what I saw yesterday, if they play like that, I mean, it'll be an entertaining game because Man City will give us space then. Because there was space for Man United to attack. They just didn't quite have the execution. Whereas if we can do that with the form of some of our attackers, Madueke's been in good form. Eze looks sharp.
They play that left back and right back. Yeah, you man are in for a field day.
That's what I'm hoping, bro. For O'Reilly there, and he played right back. Kusanov.
Yeah. If they play those 2 boys, yeah, it's a long day for them, bro.
Hey, but if we win, then that will give people more belief, won't it? See, that will slightly change the narrative for the next week or so.
It's true. And ultimately, kind of closing off on this conversation, it's like, I love the point you bring up, especially when teams haven't quite gotten over the hump.
Yeah.
The most important thing is getting results and building that camaraderie that trust from within, and the character. And I feel like you go through all of these obstacles sometimes
Yeah.
to see how you come out the other end, and who you are as a person, to see who you are as a human being, especially when you're an athlete. So you go through all of these things when you think about the early days of Arsenal being contenders, what you went through in late season scenarios, not quite able to pick up results against those teams like you mentioned, not the top teams, but those mid-table to bottom half teams that you struggled against. And even now you go into those scenarios and there is a nervousness between fans, maybe if Arsenal aren't looking at their scintillating best and are struggling to break down the opposition or create opportunities, or aren't quite putting the ball in the back of the net. But it's the character that teams are able to be built. If I reference it back to Manchester United, we don't have that character in any way, shape or form. In any way, shape or form, this team has no character, no soul, and that's part of the reason why there's a lack of trust within the 11 players on the pitch, the 10 outfielders, and the manager. There is a disconnect between the fans because there is no trust, there is no soul within the football pitch, and a belief that no matter what, these players are going to give their all in order to get the 3 points, no matter what.
Absolutely. See, like the best way to put it, your opponents yesterday, terrible last season, but their fans thought, yeah, we can come back and we can challenge, because what they built, that trust. They've seen their team go through those highs, those players on the pitch, even if there's some of them are past it. You see, you know what I mean? And some of them need moving on, but they're like, oh, no, it's all right. We've seen them have these good days. So it's about using those experiences, as you said. And I think Arsenal, the thing with Arteta is, he does seem to do that. So the 22-23 season, where we were free-flowing going forward, but we were defensively, we were quite open, got exposed against Man City. When we played each other, it was that 3-2 last-minute winner. Against Bournemouth, we did the same thing, last-minute winner 3-2. Entertaining, good games, but soft defensively, especially when we got a couple of injuries. Took a couple of injuries and the whole house falls down. Then the next season, we saw more pragmatic again. We started the season off too slow for me. The end of the season was good. And I think that end of the season left Arsenal a bit complacent going into last summer. Because, let's just get Calafiori, Marino, a couple of low players will be all right. Got exposed in terms of the attacking. Can't just rely on Saka to stay fit for the whole season now. Can't just rely on Havertz to stay fit for the whole season now. Can't just rely on Erdegaard to be fit now, which they were. And then, now we've lost them. Arsenal's attack took a bit of a nosedive in that. Now it's Arteta's gone the complete opposite extreme, signing a lot of players, covering himself. Our attack is ridiculous in terms of numbers now. That's probably our deepest in terms of numbers. We've got three wingers, three forward, we've got 6 wingers, sorry, 3 left wingers, 3 right wingers, and we've got 3 strikers now. Gyökeres, Havertz, Jesus, when Jesus comes back in December. On the left, we've got Trossard, Martinelli, Eze, and on the right, we've got Saka, Madueke, and Dalman now, who have all been given minutes. So, and then even in defence, Saliba, take that rest, bro. You'll be all right. You focus on City or Bilbao tomorrow. We've got Mascara there. Hincapié, we don't even need to play you, bro. You bed in, you take your time. Ben White, you chill. We got Timber, who's fit and not available now. Like
squad depth, yeah. Squad depth
is serious, bro. This is the deepest squad I've ever seen Arsenal have. Not the best in terms of first 11, but the deepest in terms of the squad. Like the quality. There's no excuses. There's absolutely zero excuses. Just as we can afford to rest Saka now and not rush him back. We can and still win games and got on win games consistently. Yes, we're going to need Saka, Saliba, and all of that fit and firing when it comes to the end of the season. Because I don't think any team like Liverpool, even though they got Isak and that, they're not doing anything without Van Dijk. If Van Dijk goes injured, if you take out Man City, if Haaland goes out, no matter the amount of attacking depth that they've got, Haaland or Rodri go out, they're not going to do anything towards crunch time. You need your best players towards then. And now it's about making sure that they're fit and we're not gassed out for that crunch time in the season. So yeah, man, I'm excited. I genuinely am, and I'm not just saying it from a fan hoping point of view. Like, I actually see this team, and I got a lot more belief, and I think we can win something major this year. Obviously, the Premier League's the favourite thing, and it's with Liverpool how they are. After Man City, we can be more definitive, but I don't think Man City are in this title race. I think it's Arsenal-Liverpool. I think it's an Arsenal-Liverpool title race. And then, hey, if the Champions League look at a draw happens, really,
behave yourself too.
really, vibes, Brush, CM, everyone, I'm out here to find you. I'll see you at the parade.
Yeah, the Pride Parade.
Hey, listen. But yeah, you know what, T? As always, well said, man. I can't lie.
Appreciate it, man.
We may or may not be wishing you luck here on this platform.
Nah, I don't expect it.
I know Realest shares that same sentiment. But, when we're in the position we're at, there's a lot of bitterness, there's a lot of hurt. So
hey, bro, I told you at the start, you might think about the hurt and bitterness you caused me. Oh, wow. It's because I love and respect you guys. Yeah, I don't see the trauma when I look at you two. The trauma that I went through. I don't get PTSD. If I did, I'd be coming here with a lot more. You wouldn't be inviting me. You'd be like, "Hey, we can't get to it. You can't, man." He's not bringing any insight. He's just roasting our players.
Quick. Before we end off here, quick question: how reliable is Chris Wheeler?
What about why? He's come a hit and miss.
I see they're talking about Ruben Amorim might be being offered the Benfica role, bro, because Benfica wants a new manager, bro.
I saw that earlier, and then Paxton puts in the comments also, figures within Manchester United believe Ruben Amorim's refusal to change and his stubbornness will get him sacked. One source says he's had one foot out the door. Can you confirm which where that's coming from, Paxton? But look, we said earlier, right? Whenever the ownership or reports of the ownership come out and say we're backing him, take it with a pinch of salt. We just don't know what's around the corner.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Realest, what are you saying?
I remember when was the Glazers alone running the club, bro? I could tell you when someone's getting sacked, bro. I had it spot on, bro. Once these men tell you contract extension, they're finished. Every time you hear that dreaded contract extension, bro, they have one more year. Yeah, that person is gone the next week, bro. They're done for. But this brother, bro, I don't know what this is, bro. This is some poppy show thing, bro. I don't know why I'm going for this one.
Yeah, this sounds a bit mad though. That does. Benfica aren't for starters, they're not gonna be able to pay his wages that he's getting at Man United.
Bro, I think he might just want to get out of United as well, bro, because this is. Yeah, let's be honest, bro. It's not what he expected.
If he walked, I think that says a lot about the man. Personally, that ain't.
Yeah, but I think he would get respected as well, because like, bro, not much. Respect in terms of, bro, you can't do the job you leave, bro.
Yeah, and then this is a whole different podcast, then, isn't it? We're chatting about, who do you man want for the United job?
No, but see, I don't want to get to that point. Yeah, let's shut up the show. I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm
Bend this.
Tired. Listen, thank you to everyone in the comments once again.
Big up yourselves, man.
Big up everyone.
On this Monday evening / Monday night, wherever you are in the world, Paxton, Super Nick, Pros Only Sports, Brush. We saw Moss in there. Wajid. Just everybody, man. Large ups to everybody.
Solo, all the man them still.
Come on, man. Blessings to everybody that's come through. Big up to Moss, of course. Always providing those updates in the chat. And to our guest, Man Like T. Listen, you're welcome on any time, bro. Love speaking football, as always.
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. Big up to you each and every time, innit? And I've spoken to Realest about this in the past. Especially now, I'm a lot more selective on who I talk football with. Because I don't listen to foolishness anymore. I don't stand for it.
Oh, you man finally realized and see the light what I was saying, bro. You can't speak with everyone, bro. They'll do your head in, bro.
Trust me, it's a pleasure to be in here. And especially on the Man United channel, like I feel welcomed and I feel loved. So big up, man. And that's from you guys, you two, and the communities that you've built, bro. So I really appreciate you and love to you, man, for shouting me on, for giving me that phone call. My agent got through. He said we had to talk details, you know what I mean? We gotta keep them things hush.
Hey, what do you mean, man? Yard man don't speak through no
agent.
agent.
There, yeah.
What do you mean, man? Direct line, man. Answer the damn phone, what?
Agent, you know.
Got
This
through
was
to that
agent, you know.
Hey, that's it.
Listen.
Got my PA passed it through my agent.
Wow. All right, big man. All right.
Hey, listen, big time T. Shout your ting, bro. Shout your ting. Mr. Big Time.
I appreciate it, man. Now, guys, Tariq Talks, it will be coming back. I promise you, it will be coming back.
Next
I'm
week.
sorting out things. Next week, I can't promise you that. Okay, don't listen
He
to
promised,
me.
girl. He promised.
So subscribe, Tariq Talks, people. Follow me on Twitter as well if you want to keep me updated there. I do a lot of talking there. I've got allegations thrown on my name from my chats on Twitter. So you might want to check that out. Tariq Talks again. You won't find anyone else with the spelling name Tariq like that. So, yeah, appreciate the brothers, man, each and every time. Thank you.
Come on, man, and really, what have you got to say for yourself, mister?
Bro, can we win a game, bro? I know everyone want the back-to-back win, bro. Can we just win one, bro? I'll be happy with that. Just one. I'm asking for too much.
Forget 5, 4, 3, just 2.
Yeah, I don't care about that, bro. Just give me one, bro. Can I get one, bro? Please, bro. And I'm not talking about scrapping and scraping it, bro. Just one, bro. I don't care if it's 1-0, bro. Please, bro.
You want a nice 3-0 like we had against Forest, yeah?
I don't care for 3-0, bro. Give me one, bro. Brother, do you know what our goal difference is looking like right now?
Oh, yeah, it's minus again, isn't it?
Oh,
4 games in, you know?
Hey, forget about it. Listen,
Sorry.
Make sure you go and subscribe to Realest TV on YouTube. We're co-streaming United Tropics every Monday, 7:30 p.m. Let's not talk about Manchester United for the rest of this Monday. It's already a grim day. The weather outside in London, grey skies, rain, wind that's going to blow you from the roadside into the road. Stay safe, people.
I wish the rain could blow Amorim, bro.
Do you know where the weather's like that? In Manchester.
Oh, yeah. End the stream, bro. End the stream, bro. End the stream.
Subscribe to CM22 ET. Large ups to everybody, man. Until next Monday. Or if there's an emergency, who knows? We'll see you lots in a bit.
Peace.